Hi, my name's Joanne Oates and you're watching Speedier Reads book reviews from Faster Ideas, 12 Days of Christmas, where we share creative books that have inspired us to buy for your loved ones this festive season. And today we're going to be talking about Paul Arden's It's Not How Good You Are, It's How Good You Want to Be. So if you've never heard of Paul Arden, he was an advertising creative who worked at Saatchi & Saatchi in the late 70s and 80s, and he worked on a number of big accounts like British Airways and Silk Cut, Fuji Films, and he famously wrote the line, "Independent, it is, are you," for the Independent newspaper. I was recommended this book by Alex Allen. Hello Alex, if you're watching, creative who works in London, and I'll be honest, I hadn't heard of Paul Arden when he told me about it, and as someone who's works in the creative industries for a long time, I felt a bit of an idiot. So if you hadn't heard of Paul Arden, don't worry, because I hadn't either. But I had heard of Dave Trott at this point, and he's another big advertising legend whose books I will be reviewing later in this series. And Paul's book is very much in the same vein. They are bite-sized insights into creative thinking and entrepreneurial thinking. And there's a great quote at the beginning of the book, which is about the fact that if you don't have a goal, it's very difficult to score. And I think that's really important in business and creativity. If you don't know roughly where you'd like to get to or what excellence looks like, it's very hard to start your journey. So the book is sort of split up into sections which are about different things to do with creativity. And so we've got sort of like the fundamentals of creativity. If you can't solve a problem, it's because you're playing by the rules. So it's about breaking the rules. Get yourself some spin. And then sort of more about things to do with advertising, new business, and they're just written in really, really fun, bite-sized, very accessible ways. And it's just a great little book to sort of give to someone who is either in the creative industries or is looking to enter the creative industries, or even just want some new ways of thinking in a really accessible way, which is all about what we're about at Faster Ideas. So it very much floats out by this book. There's a great bit in the book which is called "Get Out of Advertising," and as someone who's worked in the industry for on and off for a long time, this is a really, really key thing, I think, because I think a lot of people get very insular in their thinking in advertising because they only know other people in advertising. They only read books or newspapers or publications about advertising. They only talk about advertising. They don't really get out of their little sphere, either creatively or just doing anything. So I'll just read you a piece of this because I think it's a really key insight into Paul's thinking. Ask an advertising director who art directed a VW ad in 1989 and he'll tell you. Ask him who the director of the National Theatre is and he won't know. Most advertising people live within the world of advertising. 90% of advertising inspiration comes from other advertising. You will see the same books in every agency. Certainly, a knowledge of the techniques and the tricks of advertising can be very useful, possibly essential. True, people do look for something new, but sometimes it's something new to copy. To be original, seek your inspirations from unexpected sources. And I think that's true for any industry. I don't think that's just true for advertising. We get sort of in our worlds, in our bubbles, and it's really, really important if we're going to have new ideas that we get out of them and that we seek other inspirations. And that's one of the reasons I started fasterideas.com is the fact that I worked in a number of industries and roles, not just journalism, radio and filmmaking, but other sort of slightly less glamorous jobs, and it's really important that we go elsewhere for inspiration. So I really wanted to share some of those learnings from those different industries in terms of process and thinking with everybody in a way that was accessible, which is what Paul's book is as well. It's a great loo book. I do like a good loo book, and you can dip into it very quickly. They're really nice little bite-sized things. It would be great for traveling when we're allowed to travel next year, because you could just dip into it when you've got 5 minutes to yourself. So if you want to buy Paul Arden's book, you can also have a look at Paul's other books on our bookshop.org bookshelf, where you can find all the books that we're reviewing on 12 Days of Christmas. So check the links below for that, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all these Speedier Reads book reviews, and also follow us, like and share us everywhere you can find us, which is LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, where we are at Faster Ideas. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.